We have a question from Petery. Have you ever trained low responders? Now, when I first read this, I had to think about what you meant. I thought, because when I hear responder, I think first responders. I have a brother-in-law as a first responder. Many of my cousins are first responders, and it's a big thing in my family. But then I read a little bit more. If so, how do you do things differently than you do with athletes or even average people in general? I generally find myself very interested in fitness, but seem to be unable to progress any progress anywhere and to stick to one approach for very long. I have studied and tried several different ways to train, but feel that I am some kind of genetic freak that can't make good progress with anything. Well, it's funny because my good friend from college, Crazy Jerry, was the same way. We experimented with everything because he wanted to get a little bit, he wanted to put on some muscle. And we tried one set to failure. We tried 3 sets to 8. We just kept trying everything. And he like you, was a low or non-responder. So what do you do? Well, you have to step back and, by the way, and this is just genetic roulette. I mean, there are people. Bill Pearl famously told my coach Dick Notmeyer that all he had to do was like go like this with the air, and his arms would get bigger. There are people who are just better at some things. People who are born fast tend to be fast. People who are born tall tend to be tall. So maybe we have to first say, okay, uh, there's that. I would do this if you could, is that instead of having a multi-week approach, have a multi-year approach. Um, I have yet to see somebody who hasn't made progress doing the power lifts. Now, I'm an Olympic lifter, just got in from an Olympic lifting session, but I have to tell you, the power lifts tend to work with people who are low responders better than even bodybuilding. And I think it's because everything about powerlifting is true progressive resistance exercise. Uh, Maybe in the Olympic lifts it's too technical. Maybe in bodybuilding it's, well, who even knows, what makes people grow anymore because of all the all the extra stuff people put in themselves. But um, if I were you, I'd go look at the work of Marty Gallagher, who's a good friend of mine and a genius. And you might even want to look at his one workout a day template. You'll find his blog over Raw. Uh, it is called Raw, and I think it's at Iron Company. If you can't find it, ping me and I'll get back to you. You might want to try his 1 day a week program. You might want to get his excellent book, Purposeful Primitive, which I think is one of the best books ever made. Uh, his other book, Strong Medicine, has a lot of other information. And I don't want to hurt Marty's business, but some of his best work can be found at Dan John University in the download section, and I hope that helps. I would look into the programs he has there, and I think you might find a lot of benefits to them. Thanks so much. I hope that helps.